What is up, NPL people? It is your boy Jarr back here finally, with our week 2 game versus Lynxforte. Not week 2, game 2. It's a tournament, there's no weeks, it's elimination if you don't make it out of bracket play. But we are going up against Lynxforte. He is 1-0, we are 0-1, so this is a must win for us. He still has a game in hand if he does not win, but guys, I'm not taking any chances. You know we're going for game on this one. So I gotta get to Lynx's team first, so let's get right to that. I believe Lynx is rocking Kartana, Mega Man Electric, Dragonite, Sylveon, Gliscor, Darmanitan, Sableye, and Suicune. I believe that is 8. I'm doing it from memory though. But anyway, so I had to come up with a team that beat Lynx. This was the one game in our division, guys, where I didn't think we had a bad matchup. I actually thought our matchup was pretty decent versus Lynx, but he still has a lot of threats. This is by no means still a gimme, not by any chance or fucking care in the world. This is going to be a tough game, hard fought battle that we have to pull out all the stops to win. So what I'm expecting from Lynx, he has to bring, in my eyes, the Suicune, because it is his only Volcanion check. I was just thinking, he's got to bring Suicune, and you're going to kind of see I kind of built all my mons to be able to somewhat take on Suicune. I'm also expecting Kartana, because outside Skarmory, SD Kartana could 6-0 my team relatively easily. Maybe Volcanion can take a hit, but Kartana's going to come. I'm also expecting Mega Man Electric, because he can do a lot of damage to every mon except Hippowdon, really. So the thing about my matchup versus Lynx is he has threats. I kind of have a mon that can check each of his main threats, but like a mon like Sylveon, if it clicks the right move, could put me in a lot of trouble. It's just an iffy game for me. So we're bringing a team that I put together with help from friends again, including Aster. He helped me prep this game out again. We traded prep matches versus the other 2 guys. I won this prep game, so I'll show you the team we brought for this week. So first mon we're bringing is Gothitelle, Choice Scarf, Shadow Tag. I love this set. The only difference is I just like Choice Scarf because I love running Trick on Gothitelle, because I figure it's one of Gothitelle's best abilities, being able to trick him on that doesn't like being tricked. So we're going to run it again. We're also rocking HP Ice to hit Dragonite, make sure we're not set up fodder. Grass Knot to do damage to Suicune, but if it's tricked, we should be able to wear it down with Grass Knot the fastest. We're rocking Psyshock just for general coverage, and just to hit things with Stab as hard as we can. Yeah, Gothitelle's pretty straightforward this week. We're rocking 40 Speed F, max speed, almost max speed. I believe this outspeeds, I don't think it outspeeds Mega Man Electric. I believe this outspeeds, what is it? Let me, flash. Kartana. This outspeeds Kartana. So that's what we're rocking this Gothitelle. That's what we're rocking for this Gothitelle set. Excuse me if I'm stumbling over my words a little bit. It's kind of late. But let's move on to the next set, which is going to be Volcanion. We brought this thing last game. This week we're bringing a little bit of a different set. Now, I know it's my Z-Mon, and I know I could just pack Grassanium Z and pack Solar Beam on this thing and do damage to Suicune, but I don't just want a Mon that has one shot at Suicune, because Lynx could scout for it, he could be Rindo Berry, I saw that. I decided to come up with a set that doesn't require Bloom Doom to hit it hard. Substitute Sunny Day, Solar Beam, Fire Blast. A Suicune with this set should not be able to break my sub unless it is like max special attack with a super effective hidden power. So if he packs that, good for him, but not expecting it. So this thing should be able to beat Suicune 1v1 unless he's like max Speed F, but even then I'm doing like 45, which is great. So yeah, Volcanion is looking very, very good this game. I like this set a lot. It's got some speed to outspeed the likes of like a speedy Sylveon or something like that, because I want to be able to hit Fire Blast in the sun. Steam Eruption would have been nice for this game because this thing is a little bit Dragonite setup fodder, but trust me, I can get Dragonite in the range of the things I have to check it, like Sucker Punch, or it struggles with Skarmory, so with Fire Blast in the sun, so I'm not too worried. I also doubt he expects non-Steam Eruption Volcanion since it's like its signature move, so I don't think his Dragonite will be his switch-in, so not too worried about that. So I love this Volcanion set. I think it's going to put in a lot of work, but let's jump over to our Zoroark. This Zoroark is interesting. It's packing the Dread Plate this week because His switch into Dark Pulse is Sylveon, that's basically it. Everything else is going to take a very good amount from my coverage. Sylveon's going to take a clean like 30 if it's Spidef from Sludge Bomb, which is damage. I mean, it's not great, but it's damage. But this thing, it's not always going to appear to be Zoroark. Maybe we'd catch some stuff. I'm rocking HP Ice for Gliscor, Sucker Punch for priority, get some last minute damage off. Dark Pulse, because like I said, it hits most of his team. I'm rocking enough speed, I believe, to outspeed a Darmanitan, I think is what it is. I can't hit 318. Pretty sure Darmanitan hits 317. I'm expecting a Life Orb Darmanitan because I have a Hippowdon. The reason so a Choice Scarf wouldn't make a lot of sense. He needs to be able to hit Hippowdon extremely hard. Another thing I considered during this prep was Volcanion Sunny Day could lead to a powered up Darmanitan, but I still think Hippo can check it well. It's also, if I get rocks up and he starts wearing himself down fast, it's no big deal. So not too worried about that. The Zoroark is going to put in a lot of work. I have good feeling about it. It definitely can sweep his team. Like I said, if he doesn't have a Dark Resist left and everything's weakened, this thing could definitely sweep him. But let's move on to the next thing. My Mega Manectric check, Hippowdon, Leftovers, Sandforce. Now you're seeing no Stealth Rock and you're seeing no Spidef because I didn't feel like I needed Spidef. Hidden Power, effective, super effective, can't 2-hit KO me with Leftovers. In any universe, so there's not really a reason for me to run Spidef, because he's gonna 3-hit KO me no matter what I do unless I max Spidef, but at the same time I still want to be able to check Darmanitan, so I was put into a weird spot. I'm rocking Slack Off because I need recovery. This thing is super important. Toxic, Ice Fang, because if it's a weakness policy Dragonite, I don't just want to Ice Fang it, I want to Toxic into Ice Fang it, and Earthquake to hit the likes of Darmanitan and just general stab power. Pretty generic Hippowdon set this week. What is not generic is this Skarmory set. We are bringing a mono attack Hidden Power Fire Skarmory with a lot of defense, a good amount of Spidef, and a good amount of special attack as well. Now, Kartana. It's for Kartana. I'll just be blunt. It's for Kartana. Kartana is a huge threat to my team. I have seen multiple variations of Kartana in my prep matches that all have tried to deal with Skarmory, but in most cases, Skarmory either puts them in Zoroark Sucker Punch range, or it doesn't outspeed Lopunny. The one Kartana set I'm extremely scared of is like a set Aster brought against me that he stole from Gypsy, who's in the NPL. It is a Kartana with max attack, max speed. I don't know, it's not max, it's just max speed, max HP, timid. So it's lowering its attack. And it's got 19 attack IVs, and that actually makes it so that Kartana's speed gets boosted. So if it's SD with a speed boost, that could be extremely threatening to my team, because then Lop can't outspeed and revenge it. So I had to make sure that I could pack something on Skarmory to do damage to that thing. Also, there's another set I saw that was SD All Out Pummeling. SD All Out Pummeling can't kill Skarmory ever, unless he's like max attack +2 Life Orb. It might be a roll, but he's probably not going to bring that set. If he is the speed boosting set, it only does like 60, so if I can roost up predicting that or just get the damage I need with HP Fire, that works too. But this Skarmory set is built to take a few hits from Sylveon, a few hits from Kartana. It's my Kartana check. I have to keep this thing healthy, and it's also my rocker. Has Whirlwind for Dragonite set up. It's very crucial this week. I definitely have to preserve it. But one of the biggest threats this week, Lopunny. I'm not bringing a Adamant Lop this time. I'm speed tying the Manectric. I think that is well worth the investment. I'm rocking Fire Punch for the Kartana, Ice Punch for the Dragonite and Gliscor, Return and Facade, because like I said, a lot of people like to Toxic my team. I love Facade Lopunny. It's its most powerful stab. It's stronger than High Jump Kick if I can get statused, and just in case he does status me or burn me. So that is the Lop set. I debated a long time about Fire Punch because I'm pretty sure, I'm not actually 100% sure. I think Drain Punch kills Kartana from full, but it was a gamble on if he was going to run Occaberry or Choppleberry, but if he's neither, Fire Punch gets the job done. And like I said, I have a Skarmory for Kartana. I didn't really see the reason for fighting Stab this week, not with a Gliscor and a Sylveon. I feel like my best move, especially when his normal resist is basically non-existent, outside of Sableye, which isn't a normal resist because it's a fucking Mega Lopunny and I'm dumb. But that's the team we're bringing. I have a lot of expectations for this game. We'll see if any of them come true. Remember guys, this is a must win for your Toronto Star Raptors, so I will see you guys in the game. And we are here with the battle. See my opponent's team, and the biggest thing I thought was no Suicune. That is huge. It means my Volcanion set is a little less relevant, but it still puts in a lot of work. I mean, Darmanitan does not want to take a Fire Blast in the sun. Sableye, Sylveon, none of them want to take it in the sun from a Volcanion. So the set still can put in work. I see the Sylveon as his only Lopunny check, really, so I'm assuming that's a defensive Sylveon off the team matchup. I see Kartana, expected. I see Dragonite, that makes me a little scared. I see the Darmanitan. I really wasn't expecting Sableye. Gliscor is his rocker, so I can see that. But the Sableye was a little bit of a surprise to me. No Suicune was a huge surprise to me. But I still think my best lead this game is Hippowdon, because if he leads with the Dragonite, I can Toxic Ice Fang. If he leads with a U-turning Choice Scarf Darmanitan, I can counter that pretty well. If he leads with the Gliscor, I have Ice Fang, I can get some damage on that. I also forgot during this game my Hippowdon did not have rocks, because I figured I would need Toxic more. So that was my kind of screw-up thought process there. But Hippowdon's still good, Skarmory's still the rocker. Let's just jump into this game. So I lead with my Hippowdon. Pretty standard lead. He's going to lead with his Sylveon, actually, and so I'm like, alright, I need to make a middle ground play. I can't risk him predicting me turn 1 going into my Skarmory. Let me just play safe and go into my Volcanion as he fires off a Hyper Voice, playing it safe as well, and holy crap, look at that damage. That is offensive Sylveon as it gets. I think that I was pretty sure that's Spec Sylveon after seeing that damage. So he's offensive, so that makes me happy and scared, because I know HP Fire will almost kill Skarm now. I know I basically don't have a Hyper Voice switching outside of Skarm, but it also means my Lopunny looks to run Train on this team if I can clean it up just right. So I take that hit, I'm leftover, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And here, I'm going to sub up because I don't think he wants to take potentially what could be a Spec Sludge Wave, knowing he can't kill me, as he goes into his Sableye, revealing this to be his Volcanion counter. Oh, sorry, I just clicked Fire Blast here, and do 89 to Sableye. I get a burn, it's not the biggest deal, as you'll see a little bit later in the game. Now I'm going to sub up because I'm like, alright, I'm a Volcanion. I have base like 120 defense. There's no way this Sableye can break my sub, as he does try and go for a knockoff and can't break my sub. Now I'm going to put my plan into motion still, because I want to fire off Fire Blasts in the sun, because, you know, why not? So I'm going to set up my Sunny Day as he's going to knock again, and this time he is actually going to break my sub. I'm going to turn it on to normal. It's going a little slow for me. But at this point, I'm going to try and one more time set up a sub. You know, why not? He's revealed he already can't 2-hit KO my sub, but he reveals Taunt. Good prep on Lynx's part, not allowing a lot of setup from my side, but that's fine. I mean, this thing, even if it recovers, it's not taking a Solar Beam in the sun. It's going to drop to this. It's a Volcanion, so I'm going to fire this off, let it go, down goes Sableye, and we're off to a quick 6-5 start. Very, very good for us, as he's now going to go out into his Darmanitan. Now, I pondered what to do here for a little bit, because, like I said, this Volcanion was, like, specifically built for Suicune. It was built to beat a Suicune 1v1, and I was happy with how the game was looking, because the worst thing I was fearing was a Dragonite that set up on me and swept me, and a Kartana that sets up on me and sweeps me. Now, Volcanion is nice to check Kartana, but it doesn't take a +2 Leaf Blade from the range it was at. It gets set up on by Dragonite, and if this thing starts spamming fire moves in the sun, I could be in real trouble. So I just decide I have to let my Volcanion go down here. I don't have a switch into this thing in the sun. Now I'm going to go out into Hippowdon. Like I said, I don't have rocks. I don't think he's going to go into his Kartana, risking a Fire Fang in the sun, because that could be good prep on my part, but I just didn't rock it. But I am rocking the Ice Fang, as he's going to SD up with his Gliscor, and it gets very scary here. I do 55 though, so I know I can wear the Gliscor down very quickly, as I'm just going to make a hard swap though into my Gothitelle, hit this thing potentially with a Scarfed HP Ice, as he Baton passes into his Darmanitan, and I think, well shit, I don't have a switch into this +2 Darmanitan, so now I have to make another sack. I Side Shock, get 51% off as he Flame Charges, and it could have been scary here, but as you know, Sheer Force negates any Flame Charge, so I was scared there for a second because I forgot about Sheer Force, but he's not Sheer Force. I get into my Lopunny, I get my Mega Evolution off, and I get to click return, and now he goes into a Sylveon. I can't kill this thing. I'm just going to play it safe, go into my Hippowdon predicting a Hidden Power maybe. He fires off a Hyper Voice and does an absolute shit ton to my Hippowdon. So it's not looking too great for us at this point, boys. His Sylveon, his Dragonite, and his Kartana are all at full, so I have to go out into my Skarmory as he makes an interesting play out into his Gliscor, and I'm going to set up my rocks because rocks are very crucial this game. They're how I'm going to win. So I'm going to make a switch out here into my Lopunny because I could Ice Punch this thing. He's SD Baton Pass, but, you know, Gliscor is defensive. He thinks, you know, I can take this Ice Punch, I'm going to Baton Pass out, but this is not Lopunny. That is a Zoroark with HP Ice that just destroyed that Gliscor and sent him all the way back. Now here, I'm going to Sludge Bomb, get 44% off as he's going to a Hidden Power, and at this point, that's not going to kill Zoroark, even from Specs. At this point, it looks like the game's over. I get a Sludge Bomb again, but I don't get the roll. So, sadly, Zoroark is not going to pick up a sweep. It might not have with Kartana still there, but it would have been very nice. But it's looking better for me now. Lopunny, everything looks to be in Lopunny range, so I can just play it safe, go for a return. He goes out into his Dragonite, revealing he might not be Scarf Kartana. I know this kills. If he was Yachi, good prep on him, but that was my best play. He goes into Kartana. I can't risk this thing being Scarfed. I'm going hard into my Skarmory to counter this thing as he goes for a Sacred Sword, so that does 27, but that reveals to me that he is not the timid set, so this game is over right here, because if he was the timid boosting set, that Sacred Sword would not have done that much. His SD into his Sacred Sword would not have done that much. I HP Fire 82, this game's over. He's not Akaberry. He's gonna go for a Sacred Sword though, and my heart stopped for a second when I saw that crit. It stopped. I was like, oh shit. But Skarmory, being the tank he is able to live it, and we pick up a 2-0 versus my boy Lynxforte here. Great battle. It was looking really good for him a lot of the battle. I wasn't too scared. It really came down to me being able to trick that Gliscor into thinking I was Lopunny and that he could potentially live the Ice Punch. But, like I said, Zoroark comes through, Volcanion did its job, Goth, not so much this game, Hippo, not so much again, but it came down to Lop and Skarm, and those two were able to together get the job done and give your Toronto Staraptors our first win of the tournament. So, sadly, what this means, though, is that it comes down to a game versus my good friend Aster, because he lost to Lynx, which means that he is 1-1. So, if I lose versus Aster, he goes forward. If Aster loses versus me, I go forward. So, two good friends have to battle it out for the last spot, but I mean, I wouldn't rather have it anyway. Aster's a good friend of mine. I know we always have really great battles, but I mean, I'm just excited. He has a good matchup versus me, but I know the Toronto Staraptors can maybe come up with some tricks for him and beat him out. But Aster, I look forward to our battle. Boys, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you tune in for the finale of the round robin part of the NPL Minors tournament if we advance. But until then, I am out. Later.